everybody for being here with us tonight. Welcome to Morningside After Dark. It's so great to be back. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you to our audience at home who discovered us during the pandemic and keep tuning in. Tonight our theme is Best Of, and we're thrilled to be closing the 10th season of Stories, Readings, and Songs with you tonight. Back where we belong, in the basement. So happy to be here. We are your hosts. We've got Jim Mahoney out here, Katy, Vernon. I'm Rebecca Sorensen, and we're also just so grateful to have our crew back. We are here with David Bilgen, our stage manager. We've got our sound engineers, John Robinson and George Scott McKelvey. We've got our house managers, Mary and Doug Engelkey back there. We are so grateful to all of the volunteers that were here with us tonight, and we also welcome our videographer filming tonight's broadcast, Chris Laskowski. Thank you, Chris. We just want to give a quick thank you to our amazing sponsors who's been with us. You know, we did this show virtual for 2 years. We have a beautiful new Morningside After Dark logo thanks to Kimberly Sen of Sen & Sons. She's a full-service design studio. She makes us look really good, and we are so grateful. We also have our longtime patron, Yoga Fit Linden Hills. Where's Ashok? He's with us tonight. Thank you for your continued support, Ashok. Located over at 45th in France, they live up to their mission to make yoga and fitness accessible to everybody. Please go see them. Talk to Ashok. He's got information on our sponsor table over here. Thank you, Ashok, for your support. We also want to thank Hyperbole, the best podcast ever, featuring the best and worst of everything each week in pop culture, news, local drama, hashtags, and interviews with cool people you need to know, available everywhere you podcast. We also have our podcast co-host, Danielle, who left the bathtub and is with us tonight. Thank you, Danielle. And thank you to the 10 Spot, a clinically clean beauty bar at 45th in France. They are the perfect spot for all your beauty needs, and they are giving out a Morningside After Dark Quickie, a free 30-minute facial for free. So you just have to go to the 10 Spot and ask for the Quickie, Morningside After Dark style. So there you go. Anyway, and we also then want to thank our very special nonprofit partner, Dissonance. They have brought the arts to support mental health services, especially during the pandemic. We are so grateful for their support. They also made Morningside After Dark a paid gig for performers all through the pandemic, and we are so incredibly grateful to them. Thank you so much, Dissonance, for being here. They have a table tonight. You can get more information. They have some awesome merch, including winter hats, which we still need, unfortunately, out there. We also want to thank the Morningside Community Church here for hosting this event. We appreciate your donations tonight, which help to support this amazing church and venue. And we want to welcome Pastor Obi to say a few words.
Hello. Welcome back. What a delight to welcome you once again to the Fellowship Hall of Edina Morningside Community Church. Such a treat to offer this as a space to gather and be warm on these nights, and now we can finally do it again in person. We are delighted to have you back. I checked my calendar. The last time I was down here greeting you was 2 days before Ash Wednesday in 2020. Welcome back. Thanks be to God. You share this space the rest of the week with Edina Morningside Preschool, which gathers here and nurtures dozens of young lives into full growth and flourishing. Over the summer, this space becomes Morningside Theater Company. Now 200 children and youth are participating in a full summer of programming. And then, of course, there's all the things that happen upstairs. All around the year, all around the building, we try to share the joy of Christ's love by welcoming and serving. Thank you for partnering with us in your donations. We'll put a new floor in this space at the end of the summer. We've got air conditioning installed. We've got more vent fans coming in. Your partnership helps us to offer a hospitable welcome to not just tonight, but to every group that gathers. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Last couple of things, I'm practicing my flight attendant pose here. You can pay attention to the emergency exit up the stairs this way, or in the back, or through the kitchen that way. Not kitchen. Thank you. Just up the back and out. Our restrooms are at the top of the stairs, and to the right, you can help yourself to restrooms. There are also more on the main level up if you go up the next flight of stairs. Welcome. So glad to have you. Morningside After Dark.
And we just want to let everyone know, too, that there's coffee and Morningside After Dark cookies for you to enjoy. So just feel free to help yourself throughout the show. So let's get started. A Minneapolis-based dad, singer, session musician, and performing songwriter, he performs acoustic shows all over the Midwest and occasionally helps set up sound systems in church basements. Couldn't do this without him. Please welcome George Scot McKelvey.
Hey, everybody. Can I be this guy? Yeah. It's good to see everybody again. I love this little gig down here. It's been great for me, and glad we're all back out. So this is a song I wrote specifically for this show, but I don't know. I think it works well. It's kind of my pandemic anthem. Here we go. Gather all misfits, you wicked and wild. Come out and come share your stories and smile. Good to see your face, brother, it's been a while. To be real, man, it seemed like forever. Now springtime is coming, the lilacs in bloom. Finally got rid of that Twitter cartoon, and I don't need to see another funeral on Zoom. Not a big fan to begin with. On the morning side of the dark, we grow fonder when we're apart. On the morning side after dark, we'll be alright. We'll be alright. With the venues all closed, your savings depleted, but Father Time and whiskey's still undefeated. Yeah, your tour just got canceled, now you just have to eat it. Not like it was selling out anyway. Yeah, the stock market booms, the fat cat gets fatter, but each block of Lake Street makes me sadder and sadder. And only the fool can't say Black Lives Matter. 2020, please get in my hindsight. On the morning side of the dark, we grow fonder when we're apart. Yeah, the morning side after dark, we'll be alright. Still trying to process the weirdest year ever. One thing's for sure, we're better together. On the morning side of the dark, we grow fonder when we're apart. On the morning side after dark, we'll be alright. Gotta be alright. Yeah.
Our next guest, actually, Heartfelt, speaking of pandemics, they unfortunately had an exposure to COVID and they cannot perform tonight, but they wanted us to let you know that Katy Vernon is doing an amazing concert series. Some of you may have already been to at 50th in France all summer long on Friday evenings between 5 and 7, and they are going to be performing on June 17th at 5 o'clock at Performances on the Plaza by Katy Vernon. So just follow Katy Vernon and look for that gig, and we can't wait to see Heartfelt then and back here next time. So we're going to now welcome hip-hop artist, multi-dimensional creative, and activist born and raised in the Twin Cities, striving to bring hope to the hopeless. Let's hear it for Lewiee Blaze.
Mic check 1, 2. How y'all feeling tonight? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So as she said, my name is Lewiee Blaze. That's L-E-W-I-E-E-B-L-A-Z-E, and that's because I shine like the sun and I walk through the fire with no fear. All right. Born and raised from the Twin Cities. And something just dawned upon me. Am I the only black person here? Am I? Painting the city chocolate real quick? That's cool, that's cool. You know, I pointed it out because in my past, I was very uncomfortable, you know, around the other race. I really was, just being very honest and transparent. And I learned about this thing called generational trauma by this guy named Resma, who wrote this book named My Grandmother's Day. I heard somebody say, yeah, yeah, woo! Shout out to Resma. He also just dropped a new book, The Quaking of America. I'm planning to get that as well. But anyways, I was able to like really learn what trauma is and learn about generational trauma has passed down from generations and generations. And one thing that was huge that he pointed out is that you don't suffer from trauma just because of your race. Like, we all are suffering from some kind of trauma, some kind of hurt, right? And it's very important to understand that trauma that is not transformed is transferred, right? Understand that hurt people. But what happens when people are healed? Right? Healed people will heal people. So I just, I'm so grateful to be in a space with you all, to be able to share my God-given talent with you all. And this first piece that I'm going to perform is a very special piece to me. The name of it is In the Garden. And I like to envision myself as like a walking tree, right? I feel like we all are like flowers in this beautiful garden of life. And in a world with so much division, I believe that we must understand the value of creating a bond and identifying those things that really make us one and really make us whole. And humanity and nature are most definitely some of those things. So here we go. Feel free to inhale and exhale as you listen to this. Want to close your eyes and just vibe to the sound. Can y'all help me out real quick? Can y'all snap? Walking in the garden, like that. Talking in the garden, sparking in the garden, but are we watering the garden? Hey! Walking in the garden, walking in the garden, talking in the garden, talking in the garden, sparking in the garden. little bit. Hey, talking in the garden. Oh, y'all sound so beautiful out there. Hey, make some noise for yourself one time. Alright, we can tone it down now. We are all seeds in this garden of life. Give me what I need and water me right from dark to the light. Follow your heart and ignite the spark for insight. Like a star in the night, shine down unto me, so I can see the reflection of what I can be. If you are a seed who is on your family tree, what are things you've been programmed to believe? Is it the truth or have you been deceived? When did you receive enlightenment and empathy to find peace where purpose meets passion and know why you've been conceived? Now how do you perceive this reality? Let's look at the galaxy and see the power of the sun, beaming brightness upon the planets and the moon, like a parent with daughters and sons. Then take a moment to reflect on what energizes us the most to have fun and shine our lights into the world in front of the boys and the girls. What does it take for flowers to grow? We nurture soil and moisturize seeds with H2O, a mixture of oxygen and hydrogen, then allow the sun to shine within. Let's breathe, because we also need oxygen. With no breath, that's your death. But with no water, that's no life. That's like a right with no left. No balance, no sight, no sense of touch, no tongue to taste, so loss of smell, no ears to hear. And without our five senses, we're senseless, might as well be with the atmosphere. Return with earth, wind, fire, and sea. I desire to be a servant of love in this garden, and we all here oversee together as a community for union and solidarity and peace and prosperity, providing clarity, Apparently that is hard for some, but I'm not the one to condemn, I'm here to protect, here to demand that humanity and nature really gets their respect. Then I channel my energy from being upset to being more uplifted and invest effort into a system of healthy living. Because we are given fruits for purification and vegetables for consumption, natural resources to utilize and help the way that we function. There are many false discussions that would create much mind dysfunction, so we discover the lies and no longer ride on that road of self-destruction and realize reproduction is the foundation of legacy. Yeah, the love we meet, the love we create, and the love that we be. A covenant is a relationship for something more than you and me. And with no you, there's no we. Now what's a garden with no seeds? I see we can speak life or speak death, but every word is a seed. Every action and behavior we exemplify as water indeed. We water and seeds, but the water can be toxic like acid or alkalized with purity. Now do you see, you truly need to watch how you be walking in the garden. Make some noise if you like how that sound right there. Hey, 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 clap, come on. Walking in the garden, walking in the garden, talking in the garden, steady talking in the garden, sparking in the garden, oh, we be sparking in the garden. Hey, oh, we water in the garden, walking in the garden, walking and we walking, talking in the garden, oh, we talking and we talking, we sparking in the garden. Water in the garden. Woo! See, on my sweater, you see, we will breathe. You know, I was one of the frontline soldiers out there. 2020, and my life has changed tremendously. I'm not the same person anymore. And it just irritated me to steady hearing, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. See, I'm a believer in positive affirmations. And what we speak into this world, we manifest that energy, right? So if we steady saying, I can't breathe, that's what we create. That's the reality create. But do you want to create that reality, or do you want to create a reality of life where we will breathe? Say, we will breathe. 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 Ashe, ashe, that's beautiful. So I got one more song to share with you all. This is a very, very special one. The name of it is Follow Your Heart. Earlier this year, I just suffered the loss of my mother. Not just the loss, the death. She was murdered. It was spontaneous and truly shook my world apart, you know. And when something like that happens to you, it's like two ways you can go. You can go down or you can go up. And I know my mama didn't raise me to go down. She rose me to be strong, to go up, right? Being that I still needed to take that time to recuperate, to get with my family, to heal, just to pause and really reevaluate my placement in life and where do I want to go. So I'm grateful to be here to still take care of my brothers, the hierarchy in the family. I'm grateful to be able to provide, and I'm grateful to continue to shine my light and follow my heart because that's what she always told me to do. So, that being said, this also is like gonna tell you how I've been feeling at just this whole year. It's just all in this song right here. So go ahead, hit me. This new year been feeling like my last days. That explains why these roaches in my ashtray. See the world turning, see the world burning down. And eternally I'm hurting, so I can't do a thing. I can't save a single soul if my soul ain't right. Working on healing at home when I'm alone at night. The only way I cope when it's colder than snowy nights. These bright lights going out and I'm seeing poltergeists. In the darkness, broken, departed. Rows in apartments, the homeless and starving. Hope in the heart for the start of a harvest. Blooming soon after the storm. Love to see the sunshine, always keeping my seeds warm. In the art of being anointed, I'm playing my part. Loyal to the soil like Noah creating an ark. Came a long way from the days when we played at the park. Started growing up and suddenly they bang at the park. Them sparks flying with no aim, now we marching for the innocent. Wish it could be a different way we settle our differences. The lack of understanding will be deadly for most. Never have I been the type to start anything, I finish it intuitively inclined. Not choosing to decline like Angelou, I rise above all in line. It seems hard to shine, to evolve the mind. I resolve to find the truth that be aligned to the peace, love, freedom, and justice. Been feeling like it's just us, rolling with the ones that I got trust with. Glass half full, the other half empty. They thought I was a fool and couldn't smell the envy. Them snakes in the grass about to meet the lawnmower. Can't be on one accord, no longer got time for it. Only got time for the energy I can afford. Invested in the connection to the ones that I adore. Circle small, we all know less is more. We all know there's a consequence for the lessons we ignore. Ignorance is bliss and always knocking at the door. Or do you like a meal locked with a no not warn? This law is out of order, got us torn. I'm only here to warn. Better sharpen up the sword for the war. Prepare to stay aware, be a warrior at the core. I let the ink spill all over the floor, and my heart pours. Dream to be a superstar, moved my mama out the hood when I was young. Hey, always been the one, even when I didn't know I was the one. Yeah, and I know you're smiling down from up above. Still can hear you in my ear telling me, don't worry now, son. Follow your heart. Follow your heart, yeah. Follow your heart, oh, follow your heart, yeah. Follow your heart, yeah. Follow your heart, yeah. And I know you're smiling down from up above. Still can hear you in my ear telling me, don't worry now, son. Follow your heart. Thank y'all so much. Peace and love, you all are amazing.
Lewiee is also going to be performing soon for Juneteenth in Edina. Look forward to that as well. Thank you so much. Twice named the Midwest Country Music Organization's Songwriter of the Year, please welcome back award-winning singer-songwriter Sarah Morris.
Is this your microphone, Sarah?
All right, I'm going to write a song that I wrote in mid-August of 2020 when I was feeling like we were, you know, not quite there yet, but almost there. And I don't know, it became a little quarantine EP project that I recorded with some friends, and it's the song, when I released that project, then in March of 2021, I thought, oh, this won't be relevant so soon. Anyways, here we are, and I'm so glad I'm going to sing this song for you. Oh, looks like my daughter just got another cookie. Don't think I don't know that. Between here and there, between now and then, there's a wide plain and a deep canyon. There are oceans vast and there are mountains high. There are forests thick with ancient pines. And it's a lot to see through, and it's a lot to look past. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to ask. And it's almost maybe too much to hold, I know. Between right and wrong, between weak and strong, there are infinite ways to shade in gray. There is chin up proud and there are caving shoulders. There are stones you throw, and then there are boulders. And it's a lot to carry and it's a lot to move. The wisdom you gain and the plenty you lose. And it's almost maybe too much to hold, I know. Does it make it any better? Does it make it any worse? Finding brand new words for these age-old hurts. Any certainty we muster is only for sure. And the story's the same wherever you go. Between won't and will, and between storm and still, there is howling fear and quiet brilliance. There is darkest night and morning's bright from gold and blue intertwined. And it's almost blinding and it's hard to hear, and the questions keep coming and the answer's right there. And it's almost maybe too much to hold, I know. Does it make it any better? Does it make it any worse? Finding brand new words for these age-old hurts. Any certainty we muster, it's only for sure. And the story's the same wherever you go. And it's a lot to see through, and it's a lot to look past. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to ask. And it's almost maybe too much to hold. And I know that you're tired and want to let go, and the best I can offer is you don't have to do this alone. Thank you so much.
That was so beautiful. Good evening, everybody. I'm Katy Vernon. Our next performer found his calling during the pandemic when he relocated with his family up north. I don't know if any of you have seen the video, but it was amazing. His column, Beyond Reason, for the Cook County News Herald became syndicated. Welcome back, Rob Perez.
wife tells me I do not project. Am I projecting? Okay. I'm gonna change the mood in here a little bit. I better. The fact that I write a column at all is probably Rebecca's fault. Once a year she asked me to do Morningside, and I like writing things for the event, and basically I just try to make myself laugh, except now instead of doing it once a year for Morningside, I do it for once a week for a bunch of papers. And I don't know how columns start. I don't know how this one came to be, but I must have written something. They must have printed it. And I don't know. It's a blur. But it's Rebecca's fault. And Mahoney, I see you laughing. You're not blameless either. So I wrote this back in October. It seemed like a funny thing to read in a church. It's called If the Broom Fits. October is the scariest month of the year. I'm not sure why. Maybe because fall symbolizes our transition into the season of death. Maybe because winter's too cold to be scary, and summer can't possibly be scary if it's also the season of the tank top. There are many scary things that pair well with October: ghosts, goblins, ghouls, and goats. Look into a goat's eye and tell me that it's not the scariest people you've ever seen. However, the thing that's supposed to be scary, though she inspires no fear in me, is the witch. Is the witch really scary? Let us consider. Witches have been scaring people for thousands of years. The word witch comes from the Old English W-I-C-C-A-H, which is not pronounced like the furniture. It is pronounced witcha. If you look it up, a witch is a person thought to have magical powers. But sometimes I feel that way about the mechanic. The word person in the definition implies that a witch could be any gender. But I've read all about the witch, and the word is almost exclusively for women. And though I have no evidence to support it, I have a hunch that the first witch was just some nice lady who tossed spices and herbs and vegetables into a pot, cauldron, and turn it, as if by magic, into soup, sorcery, or cookery. Then again, it's almost possible. Then again, it's almost entirely possible the witch originated when some man was inexplicably drawn to a woman and decided the only and best explanation was supernatural. I believe this is what Frank Sinatra was getting at when he sings Witchcraft. Nina Simone is certainly haunting and convincing when she sings I Put a Spell on You. But the Eagles give us Witchy Woman. The issue I have with this particular song is that while witchy is maybe technically a word, should it be? The Old Testament mentions witches many times, alternating between claiming they don't exist, and even if they did exist, you shouldn't go down that road. He wouldn't like it. Obviously, the cliche has a witch cackling, black-hatted, riding a broom. And this gave me pause. A broom. Really? She rides a broom. Someone looked at a broom and thought, yes, that will do. That's how they will get around. They will get around on a broom. They will fly into the sky on a broom. I would like to submit that that's someone who imagined a broom as a mode of transportation never actually did so much as sit on a broom. Go grab a broom. Preferably if you've got one, an old-timey broom with a super thick handle. Place it on 2 chairs. Now sit on it. I dare you. Straddle, side saddle. I've seen both ways. Now lift your feet off the ground. If you can stay there for 5 seconds, congratulations. You just qualified for a rodeo in Texas. Now, follow-up question. Would you describe the experience as pleasant? Tolerable? Now add angles and G-force of takeoff and winds at higher altitudes and torque of a left turn, and it's clear that it is impossible to sit, let alone fly, on a broom. Now the skeptics may respond. Maybe they use a broom to anchor themselves. Maybe they use a spell to anchor themselves to the broom. Maybe. But if the witch has that kind of magic at her fingertips, why would she use it to anchor herself to a broom? Of course, with witches, there's a darker history, too. The most famous is perhaps the witch hunt. These days, a witch hunt is what politicians call any line of questioning they don't like. But in the olden days, there were actual witch hunts in Europe in the 14th and 18th century, and more locally here in Salem, Massachusetts, in 1692. Now, how, one might ask, could there be an actual witch hunt when there hadn't been proof of an actual witch? Well, this was an above average sleight of hand of the day. Hysteria trumps logic, and burning things is fun. Try proving you're not a witch. It's really hard. The words, "I am not a witch," are not convincing in the least. Frankly, they're kind of incriminating. They're certainly not proof, and in fact, they're exactly the kind of words that a witch would use. Basically, witch hunts were a way for some religious men in power, like, say, Pope Innocent VIII or Reverend Samuel Perez, could add yet another level of control over women and scapegoat almost any problem. Like, say, what is the most likely reason your child is having fits? And or, your crop didn't produce like last year. Yes, that's right. Satan. That's the most likely reason, in the form of a witch. Ultimately, witch hunts fell out of favor when they stopped allowing supernatural evidence at the trials. Lawyers scattered in every direction, and common folk realized that the aggrieved were just making this stuff up. In 1953, Arthur Miller wrote The Crucible about the Salem witch trials to show how our society is way too smart to do anything like that again today. Except at the exact same time he wrote that, McCarthyism was ravaging the country and communists were being picked off left and right. Completely coincidentally. Like witches. Maybe the Crucible was just ahead of its time. I'm sure that couldn't happen today. We are so level-headed about our disagreements today. Anyway, I am bewitched by the witch from her wardrobe, all black, which is slimming. Accessories, the pointy hat. And though her laugh, a cackle, might perhaps make me take it easy on the jokes, and the temperature of her breast is considered by many uncomfortably chilly, her choice of domesticated animal, feline, is okay by me. And that blemish on her nose would be no problem for a good dermatologist. Finally, any nocturnal activities that involve cauldrons and potions and incantation is just the kind of thing that leads to a good, hearty meal. To me, the witch is magic. But scary? Please. She may belong to the scariest of months, October. But the witch, I believe, is not scary at all. She is, I submit, misunderstood.
I suggest that Rob Perez reads Room on the Broom. That's very good. Does anyone know that book? It's so good. I love it. Okay. This next act have done something that my rotten rubbish family are not willing to do. So I'm going to just stand here in awe and take notes. You'll find out soon why. So another pandemic story. Musician Jonathan Rundman performed for 30 years as a musician before attending divinity school. During lockdown, he started playing music with his family in their Edina home, and they soon formed the Rundman Family Band. That's an achievement, just right there. Oh, not ready. Gonna tell everyone about you all. No, you're good. Take your places. I'm ad-libbing and kind of being stupid up here, which is what I do. Featuring his wife, psychologist, Dr. Dawn Rundman. Woo! Son, Pavo, an EHS senior, and daughter, surveyor, and EHS freshman. Welcome the Rundman Family Band.
All right. Let's just turn the microphones on. Yeah, we'll do it the old school way. Thanks, Katy. Hi, everybody. Running sound and technology for a variety show is really hard. So how about that for Dave and the sound and tech people? Holy cow. All right. Well, we've had a lot of fun in our pandemic. We set up all the instruments in the house and encouraged everyone to try to play them all. And so we made lemonade out of lemons. And so we're going to play for you tonight a traditional folk tune from the country of Finland.
Family goals. I feel bad if my children end up watching this, being beautifully filmed. I'm sorry that I said you were rubbish. We have a standing joke in our house that if any of us ever got on like the Wheel of Fortune, we would introduce like our idiot dumb husband or children, you know, because they always say like my marvelous, you know, whatever. Like they're not always marvelous. I don't think so. Anyway, all right, back on track. This next intro kind of cracks me up because I think she probably wrote it because it's very dark. It's very self-deprecating. Anyway, so here we go. This is her intro. An unemployed writer living in Uptown with her 6 mostly alive plants. She is proud of all of us for making it this far in the collective life hellhole we're all experiencing. So it's awesome to have her back. The amazing Liz Welle.
Okay, I have to log in with shaky hands, so it's gonna take a second. And I wore lipstick under a mask like an absolute idiot, so if you can see it smeared, no, you cannot. Whew. I haven't done this since I was here 3 years ago, so just bear with me. And I swear in this a lot. A hearty apology to those that offends, and a loving grow up to those that feel it invalidates what I'm saying. I also wrote that before I knew there were children in the audience, so you are free to feel however you feel about this. Frequently I've used these readings as a therapeutic and cathartic outpouring of whatever it is I'm personally going through in my noggin at the time, and that will not be changing at all whatsoever this go around. If any of you woke up wanting to play the role of a mute, unpaid therapist, you are miraculously at the exact right event. But I think the thing I'm going through is the thing we're all going through, which is called, what the fuck is even going on and how much longer? Like, are we all comfortably and severely uncomfortably, depending on the day, sitting in literal madness right now, or is that just me? I've never seen the movie A Marriage Story, but there's that meme of Adam Driver with the line, "Every day I wake up," and I say that to myself pretty often right now, and maybe some of you get what that means, probably most of you do. And I don't know how much to blame myself for this mental stability atrophy and malaise because I'm a narcissist extraordinaire who's also bipolar. So honestly, I can find a way to blame myself for like a semi-truck that tips over New Zealand filled with beer. And I clearly know all of this isn't mine to hold, but at the same time, I believe in a world where it's all of ours to hold, both individually with healthy but not dissociative boundaries, and also collectively, especially collectively. On that collective note, I don't know how much to blame the government, but I think a lot. I think mostly a lot, because I feel like they are obsessed with not taking care of their own people, because America is obsessed with electing a lot of cretins, I think recruited from hell, who are obsessed with protecting people with money, instead of, making sure people are cared for and can afford to live in a home with food and other basic needs. Like, what is so hard about livable wages and taking like 1 bajillionth of Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or one of those dork asses' wealth and paying off student loan debt and all healthcare bills, which do not and should not need to exist in the first place? What is wrong with people who actively want to fuck people over, or even just neutral and complicit about fucking people over, the latter of which does include all white people? At me, as they say, if you need to, about that. Okay, sorry. Back to billionaires for a sec. Like, how do you not feel like the most soulless piece of garbage alive? Be like, be right back, gonna go to space for a second, when there are people in this country dying on our streets. There are people in this country who cannot afford to wake up and keep breathing every day, but you just feel the need to hoard an amount of wealth, get this, comparable in size to double the width of the Grand Canyon if the average American's family wealth were comparable to the width of an Oreo. That's just a fun fact I like to think about sometimes. So now we're in this time, this unprecedented time, where people who have historically really absolutely sucked could change the course of history, and they have just firmly fucking passed on that because Republicans, and maybe some Democrats too now, who knows, and billionaires are obsessed with allowing fellow human beings to suffer. Like, never has there been a better point in our lives where we could intentionally choose to be like, you know what, how about no? And band together and like really truly come together and fundamentally make a better world and make sure everyone in this country has enough to survive, because that is possible to do, and we just don't. We could make sure black people get to grow old, because that is also shockingly possible to do. We could make sure our Asian friends and neighbors and fellow human beings, because that's what they are, aren't scared to walk down the streets out of fear of being harassed or worse. That is also just flat out possible. It's possible to make sure our Muslim friends and neighbors and fellow human beings get to lead lives where the willful ignorance of Islamophobic morons doesn't have to be a prevalent thought in their brain ever. And it feels possible and pretty easy to me to not be a Nazi, and it feels like not asking a lot to remember that we are on stolen land and to prioritize Native people. Like, that's the least we could do for them, and to shove through your skull that you don't get to tell someone what their gender or their pronouns are. You just don't. The end. I know I sound like an R-rated Sesame Street episode, but it's all true. But instead, I'm reading about don't say gay laws, which what kind of time machine back to the darkest hell is that? Rick DeSantis, please seek help. And I'm scrolling Twitter like, which GoFundMe to donate to today? And it's so wild to me that you could be a person that actively wants to make this country as awful as humanly possible for people. You wake up every day and that's your job, and the only lives you really care about are like oil tycoons who own 50 yachts for no reason, and then some unborn fetus who you don't care if lives or dies once they're born, not white. So yeah, it feels like a lot of blame could go there. I don't know how much to blame God, because if I do believe in God, then I believe in all the normal ones, and if I do believe in them, again, then what the fuck? I don't know how much to blame whatever the opposite of God is, and I don't know how much to blame my general orneriness on every boy I've ever kissed, just because that's a thing I can do and I feel like it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, even though I have nothing to apologize for in terms of collective human suffering. But I'm sorry because also, yes, I do, when you think about it. We all do. Again, speaking mostly to white people and specifically to rich old white men, please change immediately or pack it up and get out of the way. We are trying to make a better country here, and you guys have had the job since the dawn of time, and it isn't going so hot unless we're talking about climate change, in which case you've screwed that up too, and now it's too hot. Thanks. But I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud because I know how hard it can be to wake up and just live, and then to do that again the next day. And I am so proud that all of you keep going. I'm proud of you because you are the ones that find the good. You seek out things like art shows in the basement of a church. And you find the good in things like community, a thing I think Minneapolis does damn well. And that's truly what it's all about when you're just casually going through hell on a routine basis. It's about enjoying art and noticing when a cappuccino tastes really good and appreciating a specific color that you've never really seen in that shade before. You've never seen it show up just like that. And it's about noticing how hard the rain is falling and loving it for exactly how hard it's falling. And it's about falling in love as often as you can with things like the exact perfect ratio of poppy seeds to sesame seeds on your everything bagel, and with how your best friend's hair naturally dries, and with the way someone decided to make that chair exactly. It's so beautiful, that chair. It's about falling in love with the emotional complexity of being okay one minute and not okay the next, and knowing you could not be less alone in that. With hand-holding, the gentle and calming transfer of love that is hand-holding, and the fact that you can just pick up a bouquet of flowers at a grocery store if you need to, and eating barbacoa tacos and drinking wine and listening to records with friends, preferably all of those at the same time if you're able. It's about noticing how the sunlight comes into your windows and shines on your couch so beautifully for like 15 minutes, and it's enough to lift your mood just a little bit for even that quarter of an hour. It's about falling in love with the way a fried egg looks in a cast iron skillet and the particular high that comes with a new stack of books. Real ones know what I'm talking about. And it's about noticing a cool bird in your backyard and knowing that that can and should be a genuine bright spot in your day. It's about feeling and relaxing into that really specific comfort that you feel listening to those podcast hosts you love. And it's about seeing a dog wag its tail and being like, hell yes, that is a dog wagging its tail. There's a happy dog right now, and that counts for something. Hearing a baby laugh, that's the good shit, man. That's what we hold on to right now. But it's also about consistently and consciously fighting for a better world so those babies can keep laughing. It's about holding on to all those things and everything like it until we get wherever it is we're going. I'm silly enough to have some faith that we'll get there on this planet Earth one day if we keep going, if we take care of one another, if we keep fighting. So that's what I'm leaving you with. Remember to fight like hell and keep falling in love.
So great. Thank you. Thank you for being here for that, Liz. That was beautiful. All right. I love this show tonight. Best of, and not kidding. This is really great. So a true superstar is with us tonight, a Morningsider who once toured with the Jonas Brothers. RION has released a new collab single with celebrated singer-songwriter, superstar in her own right, Carolyne Naomi. It's an honor to have them with us to perform Fall of Babylon. Welcome, RION and Carolyne Naomi.
How you guys doing? You doing all right? Well, thanks for coming again. We do appreciate this, us Morningsiders. I live just down the street right here. So it's, this is special. And thank you to Rebecca and for everybody, Katy, everybody who puts this on, John and George for running sound, making music for us. Thank you guys.
When government is weakening to corporate demand, they'll go to any lengths before they lose the upper hand. Those who fear the future never want to make amends. No one can break the fall of Babylon.
Scientists and futurists, they warn of things to come. Climate change will rearrange our place beneath the sun, and we will live to see thy kingdom come, Jah will be done. No one can break the fall of Babylon.
No one can break the fall of Babylon. Till then, all we can do is carry on. Whoa, we don't have to wait till Armageddon day has gone. No one can break the fall of Babylon. When we're the product being sold to world economies, and life is hard to separate from raw technology.
And love will conquer and divide the beggars and the thieves. Oh, no one can break the fall of Babylon.
No one can break the fall of Babylon.
Till then, all we can do is carry on.
We don't have to wait till Armageddon day has gone. No one can break the fall of Babylon. We will live to see the kingdom come, Jah will be done. No one can break the fall. No one can break the fall. No one can break the fall of Babylon.
Caroline we only have a couple we do together, so this is the alternate choice. Caroline's also a very accomplished singer-songwriter, so check her out, okay? Carolyne Naomi.
Oh, Queen Justice, where are you? Did they beat you up or down, lock you on the ground, take the crown away from you? Oh, Lady Liberty, red, white, and blue, yeah. Did they take your dignity with their bigotry, teach you that you're born to lose? Free or guilty, it's gonna get filthy, better believe. Roll up your sleeves, it's gonna get rough, it's gonna be tough. We all agree, we've had enough of all the rules you're breaking. We've had enough of all the money you're making. We've had enough, no more life gets taken. We've had enough, this is a proclamation. It's been 400 years, we're 400 late. Together we stand from state to state, going back in time won't make America great. Justice now and the people won't wait. Action, no more destruction. Every step we take we gain traction. It can happen to one, it can happen to all. United we stand, divided we fall. Free or guilty, it's gonna get filthy, better believe. Roll up your sleeves, it's gonna get rough, it's gonna be tough. We all agree, we've had enough. We've had enough of all the rules you were breaking. We've had enough of all the money you were making. No more life gets taken. We've had enough. This is the proclamation. As if free or guilty, it's gonna get filthy. Better believe. Roll up your sleeves. It's gonna get rough. It's gonna be tough. We all agree. We've had enough. Oh, we've had enough of all the rules you were breaking. We've had enough of all the money. We've had enough. No more life gets taken. This is the proclamation. Trayvon Martin, Tommy Rice. We've had enough. Michael Brown and Eric gonna pay the price. Yes, we've had enough. Philando, Breonna, George Floyd. We've had enough. So many gone. How can we fill the void? We've had enough. Sean Bell, what the hell? We've had enough. Freddie Gray, did you hear what I say? We've had enough.
Thank you both so much. Beautiful. All right. So I'm very jealous of her dress, and I want it for my ABBA cover band, I told her. But she's so much more than just a woman in a beautiful dress. She is a long-time Twin Cities-based comic storyteller. Her credits include appearances on HBO, Comedy Central, VH1, and MTV. Put your hands together for Colleen Kruse.
Hello. All right. I got to do this. So I'm going to kick it old school like we're in the 90s. Don't have to wait for anything here. Last week I was in California visiting my kids. And so about a week ago tonight, like last Tuesday. And my kids, I'm using that term kind of loosely because my daughter turns 34 in July and my son turns 31 in August. My kids made it through the pandemic okay. Not only okay, but better than okay. And my son is currently, they both work in entertainment. My son is currently working on the newest iteration of The Muppet Show, which is going to be a Spinal Tap-esque mockumentary starring Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. It's very exciting. And my daughter just sold a comedy horror movie to Blumhouse Productions, which is really great, right? And not only that, but their respective domestic partners, my son's fiance and my daughter's partner, they both just got promotions and pay raises. So a week ago, just last Tuesday, they took me out to eat. right? They took me, like my wallet did not figure in. Didn't even make it out of my purse. They took me out to eat. And everybody was sharing their good news, and I started looking around the table, and I was just overwhelmed. I was overcome because everybody's healthy, everybody's happy, everybody's partnered with people who are decent and good and kind, and they all have creative work that's enriching and profitable. And I was just overcome with the sheer dumb luck of it all, because it didn't have to be that way, right? And whenever good times appear, I have a bad habit of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I always have to remind myself to enjoy them and to be in the moment and just be there with gratitude and joy and wonder, because these really could be the best of days. You never know, right? So I was just relaxing and having my spaghetti, right? Because who doesn't love LA spaghetti? Just like, it's not a thing. But I ordered spaghetti. We weren't even at an Italian restaurant, right? We were outside. And I'm just enjoying it, and I'm just taking it in and watching the kids and listening to the kids. And then my daughter, Amanda, she starts telling the group about an assistant of hers who received a dick pic from a superior, right? And the waitress, because my kids are millennials, right? And so I'm going to be 54 in a month, and my kids are millennials. And the waitress, who is like Gen Z, that's a new thing, right? There's no more millennials now. Now it's like there's a whole other thing after that. The waitress who's Gen Z, my daughter says, oh, my assistant, or one of my assistants got this dick pic from this guy, and this waitress recoils in horror, and she goes, oh my God, that's so 2014. And I love that, because my kids are just kind of getting a taste of being old, right? I thought that was awesome. So, the dinner table talk turns to the subject of dick pics. And the first one my daughter ever received was on her laptop computer from a high school classmate in 2005. And she doesn't remember all the ones that came after that, right? And my son, who I have raised correctly, offered that he told us a story that the only time he ever sent a dick pic to anyone was when his best female friend in college was horrified to admit that she was being bombarded with dick pics from some other guy that was in their dorm. So Isaac found out, and he got the guy's phone number, and then he and all of his buddies flooded the guy's phone with pictures of their dicks. Like 24/7, like all day long, right? And I just felt very proud at that moment. So the kids are laughing and talking, and I felt content to listen, and it's not that I didn't have a dick pic story to tell, because of course I did. Of course I do. But I'm sensitive to the fact that maybe kids, not even adult ones, even my kids, might not want to hear stories of their mother. But here, in this house, I can tell you. My name is Colleen Kruse. I am going to be 54 years old next month, and I have seen a lot of dicks. I've seen morning dicks, afternoon dicks, night dicks, brown dicks, white dicks, reddish pink dicks, small dicks, big dicks, bent dicks, broken dicks, surgically reconstructed dicks, old dicks, young dicks, middle-aged dicks, skinny dicks, fat dicks, round dicks and flat dicks, hairy dicks, smooth dicks, vitiligo spotted dicks, perfumed dicks, smelly dicks, fresh from the shower dicks, tick-infested camping dicks, famous dicks, criminal dicks, and dicks that were Goldilocks just right. And I got to tell you, I didn't ask to see all those dicks. They were just foisted upon me. The sight of them was just foisted upon me. And not once have I ever wanted to see a picture of a dick. So I'm forced to ask yet again, what is it with men? I mean, I'm genuinely curious at this point. I'm no longer afraid. I'm genuinely curious. Is it audacity or desperation? Please look at this. This is my special thing. Will you just look at it? Bear witness to this thing that rules my life, clearly. You know, part of it is a marketing issue because you guys make it too easy to get to the dick. Penises are free, vaginas require effort of some sort. Money, time, patience, the building of a relationship. I was enjoying my meal and I was rousted out of my thoughts by my kids. My daughter, she asked me, "Hey Mom, what did people do in the 90s? Like, how did you get a dick pic in the 90s? She thought she was being sassy. And I was reminded of a story. I remembered my friend Roxanne, who is an early adopter of all things crazy. She was the first person I ever knew to get the internet. She was the first person I knew to look at internet porn. She was the first person I knew to do a lot of stuff. And she used to work at the City Pages as a receptionist. And Roxanne thought personal ad dating would be a very cool modern thing to do. So she put out an ad and she began corresponding with a variety of men via the United States Postal Service. We were talking pen, paper, stamps, everything, right? And one day, in the mail, Roxanne received not a letter, not a note, but a single sheet of typing paper, upon which a man that she had been corresponding with had placed his penis and then took a ballpoint pen and outlined it. He then folded it in thirds, put it inside an addressed stamped envelope, and presumably gave himself a pat on the back, because every dick pic in the history of dick pics after that guy stood upon the shoulders of a giant. It's a little like Verveer and the camera obscura technique. But... So I told the kids Roxanne's dick outline story. And they were stunned silent for a minute. And my son Isaac said slowly, he goes, "Wait, like a hand turkey?" I nodded sagely. The elder that I am, the matriarch. And I finished my delicious LA spaghetti in the fancy restaurant with my beautiful children, my heart flooded with gratitude, joy, and wonder at the best of days. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hello, welcome back. I'm Jim Mahoney. And I am so delighted. Oh, stop. Wait, what? I am so delighted to introduce our co-host and producer of this show and curator of so much talent that's come through this space. So we couldn't be happier to have her playing for us tonight. She has been described by the Star Tribune as one of the Twin Cities' most beloved folky singer-songwriters. We love her and appreciate her, and I know this is just great to have her here. So let's hear it for England's finest Minnesota import. Shouldn't it be import?
I know,
export.
I was confused.
I think it's import.
Too.
Yes, England exported you to us, and we're the better for it. Katy, Vernon.
Thank you. So I'm so honored to be here, and I took the subject of tonight very seriously. It said best of, so I didn't realize people would be doing lots of new work, because I was like trying to think of my best of, like what was the best thing I ever did here. I made a really good joke once about how sexy the Edina husbands are. That got a big laugh. I felt good about that. Well, like the Edina dads. So I was like, all these Edina dads, they're so hot. Anyway, so I won't be reprising that. It was that, basically. That was it. So I thought about my favorite time I ever sang here. And when I first started, I mean, I've really been around since the beginning, which I'm so honored to be a part of this. And I was very nervous the first ever time I performed. And I thought, again, I took it very seriously, and I was like, I have to write a song about the theme. And the theme was like ice or something. So I wrote a horrible song that I've never ever played since about slipping on my butt on ice. It was, I don't know what I was thinking. It was really, really bad. Anyway, and then since then, I've become a co-host, like helping to put things together with Rebecca and Jim, which has just been such a dream to get to know them better and discover all these amazing performers and people in your community. It's been so great. And along the way, my favorite song I ever sang was Suit of Hearts, which I'll do tonight. And it really embraced kind of my journey here too, because 10 years ago I was thinking, I wish they didn't just have coffee, I wish they had wine. What kind of event is this? And then a couple of years after that I realized I was an alcoholic, and then I spent a lot of time in church basements that was not as fun as this one. And then I actually did some really deep soul diving and realized, okay, you can get better. Alcohol and addiction doesn't have to define you and kind of ruin your life. It can actually help you meet people like the folks at Dissonance and build creative, healthy, happy relationships. And I'm still an alcoholic, but I am much healthier and sober. So that's what this song's all about. And the last time I sang it here, it was a really good experience, which is why I think it's the best of. So hopefully I don't mess it up tonight. Loosey-goosey here. Let's get that tightened up.
But you're all
you to everyone at Morningside, in front of and behind the scenes. You have made my life the last 10 years so much more meaningful. Thank you for having me.
Somali refugee, Muslim, multimedia artist and educator who performs nationwide, her visual poem, I Am a Refugee, debuted on the PBS Short Film Festival. Please welcome Ifrah Mansour.
Everyone is shining. I had, this month is very special because Ramadan and Good Fridays all just were on beautifully together. So I just had friends that were experiencing this beautiful spiritual time. And I always like to tell the Muslims, I'm like, y'all, I'm going to the church, the basement, so you can't find me. Yeah, I have, this is a brand new poem and it needs your voice. It's a participatory, I can't use that word. There's an opportunity for you to add your voice into this poem. And it's a call and response. So when I do this, you repeat the last word I said. So let's just practice. Oh, dear stranger, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, okay. You're gonna say beautifully different words that are from different cultures. You might recognize some of them. Here it goes. Embrace with me. Oh, dear stranger, welcome. Welcome. To a dream of dreams, fadlan. To a swinging sunset, sodawaw. To stars singing hidden history, bienvenida. To our thinning, humble abode, welcome. Oh, dearest guest, welcome. To a joy-spilling tea kettles, fadlan. To United Nations symphonies in our kitchens, sodawaw. To billion flavors parading down on our tongues, bienvenida. To recipes carrying stories beyond our fears, welcome. Oh, dearest neighbor, welcome. To a fluttering future, fadlan. To seeing more blues like bees, sodawaw. To ripening our deeds, bienvenida. To ripening our sacrifices, welcome. Oh, dearest sinner, welcome. To growing calluses on our palms, fadlan. To earth is thinning skin, sodawaw. To God gazing in the crackling of the ozone, bienvenida. To becoming a neighboring graves, welcome. To surpassing our ancestors' wildest dreams, welcome. Oh, dearest climate refugees, welcome. To harmonious silence, fadlan. The Mississippi River fleeing backwards, sodawaw. The tornadoes dancing on black ice, bienvenida. To sharing our homes, our hearts, welcome. Oh, dearest griever, welcome. To earthquakes on our tongues, fadlan. To edible words in indigenous prayers, sodawaw. To earth is sacred hugs, bienvenida. to our tears, blooming at daffodils in our hearts. Welcome. Oh, dearest dreamer, welcome. To baptizing the truth, Fadlan. To unknitting our fears, Sudawao. To growing our stubborn hopes, Bienvenida. To becoming and ancestors in the making, welcome. Oh, dearest new ancestors, welcome. To growing kindness on our skins, welcome. To gambling on faith, welcome. To meeting God inside a stranger's scar, welcome. To becoming a gift on your own, welcome. Gratitude.
We weren't kidding when this was best of, right? Everyone's on board with that? Yeah. Affiliated with the Museum of Russian Art, Nitka draws on Slavic folklore and traditional female communal cultures of Siberia. They support the fight of Ukraine against Russia's unprovoked assault and will perform a Ukrainian psalm about an orphan wandering the land in search of their mother. Please welcome Sarah Burke, Sarah Callahan, and Diana Yefanova of Nitka.
Good evening, everyone. So we are the Nitka group, affiliated with the Museum of Russian Art, and we are ending on a sad note today. It is sad, but it's also very beautiful. It's a Ukrainian song in Ukrainian, sung around Ukrainian Orthodox communities around Lent time, and Lent just ended yesterday. It was Easter in Orthodox churches. The song is about an orphan who walks around the land looking for her mother, and she meets God, and then she meets her mother, but her mother is dead already. But she sends her daughter around to search for a better lot. And we are going to sing.
Come to the last act tonight, and we just want to say again, thank you so much for making the effort to be here with us. Here's to you. Thank you, Morningside. And so, speaking of Morningside, we've always taken great pride in drawing from this neighborhood. That was really the impetus for this gathering at the very beginning, saying we have all this talent here, and how can we bring it forth and share it with more people. So as we've grown and as more folks have come into the fold, we've had some stalwarts along the way, and these folks would be included in that number too. So these are neighborhood musicians. We don't call them dad bands anymore. I was told not to say that, not by you, Ryan. But they perform in a bunch of other local bands, and they keep their day jobs in fields including finance, neurointerventional surgery, and lecturing on colonial American literature. These are our friends Jim B. Ray, Nikki Williams, Ryan Williams, Steve Dietrich, Colin Wells, and Liz Heineke. Ladies and gentlemen, the Teardowns! Did I get everybody?
Hi, everybody. As Jim said, we're the Teardowns of Morningside. We're not really professionals. We feel like sometimes we slip in and we get to join the really talented, great singer-songwriters and poets and writers, and we're just happy to be part of this. But as Morningsiders, we really appreciate events like this. I mean, what kind of neighborhood has this every year for 10 years, three times a winter? And we have been so lucky to be part of this. As a band and as individuals, we have played here a lot, and we're really thankful for having us, and we're thankful to Rebecca and Katy and Jim and everybody who helps out to make this possible. We're just so blessed to be part of it. Thank you.
ain't right. Well, it's over, I know, but I can't let go. Round every corner, something I see, bring me right back how it used to be. Cause it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. You won't take me back when I come around. Said it's sorry and it pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. But it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. You're gonna take me back when I come around. Says it's sorry and it pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. But it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. You won't take me back when I come around. Says it's sorry and it pulls me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm broken down like a train wreck. And it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go. Well, it's over, I know it, but I can't let go.
Thank you. Thank you.
This works. You got one. That's good. We get school night. You know. We'll get you back. Don't worry. They're not going anywhere. Nice job, by the way. All right. So let's just hear one more time for all our performers tonight. Thank you so much. And speaking of which, if you were a performer tonight, could you join us back on stage? We have a gift for you that's very special and exciting. Yeah. So come on up, performers. Just come up real quick. I know you maybe don't love this part, but we want to give you a gift to say thank you with our new logo for our new decade. So come on up. Just an all-star lineup tonight. So great. Looks like yes, we have merch, people, from Sen & Sons. Check out the new Morningside After Dark hats. That's right. And these aren't winter hats. No. They're string hats. Yeah, let's hear it, huh? Get on out there. There we go. Woo! So we want to thank you, our amazing audience. We want to thank our sponsors for tonight's show, both in person and those of us joining us online. We appreciate that you could be part of this tonight. Keep an eye on our Facebook page and our website for updates. We are planning a special show this fall, so keep in touch about that. We'll always eager to hear your ideas at our email, which is morningsideafterdark.com, and we'll be back for more soon. Thank you, Obi. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Appreciate you. Thank you. Good night.